So here we are in Act 9 and back in the Blood Aqueducts. If the game looks different, by the way, I've tried to... Oh, well, that's a bad start. Oh, it's back. I've tried to unfuck some graphical settings to fix it before Windows 11 rudely took my settings. So hopefully it should be looking back to crisp and clean. And thank you to my friend, my BFF, talkative tri-fellowed married man for copying his settings over because I didn't have any of mine saved from before Windows 11. So we just leveled. We're level 62, and on the passive tree, we're kind of thinking about where we want to start heading. We've grabbed the life nodes. We've grabbed some defensive nodes. We picked up our charge stuff, and I'm thinking I want to work our way down to Arcane Capacitor to grab that Arcane Surge stuff, because within 4 levels, I'll probably start picking up that next lab. But if there's anything else defensive I want to grab on the way, maybe now's a good time to do that. I think we'll actually get Arcane Capacitor, and then we're probably going to grab this Power Charge, because we could pick up 1 extra. So let's do that. Arcane Capacitor going around the top for the Arcane Effect here, and then we're going to get our lab soonish, and then we'll get our Power Charge. Uh-oh. Network. 6. I did see a comment suggesting it, and anytime you get a network lag spike, because pause is in the game now, it seems to prevent that from happening, and you can watch your latency in real time while paused, and you just kind of wait until your latency flattens out, and then count to like 10, so any sort of catch-up mechanics occur. Yeah, so that's like the plan for in the future, when I start lagging in general like that, to just pause, because I can. Well, unless I'm in a boss fight. Boss fights you can't pause, like pinnacle boss fights, like real bosses. And if that happens, I'm just fucking dead. So, you know, that's life. Hey, it's Rog. Rog is super, super, super strong for crafting items in Solo Self-Found. Rog makes some insane rares. So Rog is definitely someone we would look forward to working with. Into Highgate. It's town time. We're introduced to a new mechanic, which is Jun. She is the Betrayal Lady. Betrayal is kind of spooky from a hardcore perspective. Some of the outcomes of Betrayal are not, what's the word, consensual? Like assassination as one of the Betrayal things that can occur. It doesn't wait for us to trigger it, it just happens. So things like that can get a little bit hairy, because we might just be walking along and then all of a sudden there's a dude jumping on us. Into the Descent. It's like the opposite of the Ascent in Act 5. Hey, you sacrifice at dusk. I think we've, I don't know if we got a full set for Atziri, but we're probably pretty close. Unfortunately, not much locked behind Atziri. She's a kind of a lackluster boss. Normal Atziri is, at least. Ah, my Merc has died. That is something we've expected for a while now. He's quite low level. We could give him like 1 more life out of respect by paying, was it 830 gold? But it's kind of the beginning of the end for him. He's simply too far behind. It's gonna suck because that's a huge chunk of our damages. Well, not a huge chunk, but a decent chunk of our DPS is coming from the Merc. Granted, he's making things 25% harder by having him around, but yeah, we're gonna miss him if we lose him. Alright, exiting the Descent/Ascent to the Vestiri Desert. This is our first kind of like soft quest hub. There's 2 or 3 things to do here, including the introduction of the Betrayal mechanic. I do notice that there's random squares missing from my map sometimes, so that's cool. Hits against them can't be crits is such a bummer of a thing that you can get an expedition. So it just means I can only do damage with non-crits. It's like, okay. So I'm just doing half damage. Got it. Thankfully my crit chance isn't super crazy high at the moment. It's probably pretty high. 24%. But, you know, I'm still doing damage 75% of the time. This is the expedition dude named Danig. He's a pretty cool guy. He's like the through line expedition member, so he himself doesn't really offer anything super exclusive. Like the other ones have their own vendor things. Tujin's currency, Raugus, item crafting and generation, and Gwen is unique, you know, gambling. But he powers the other ones and also sells you logbooks, which are big boy expeditions. So he's the most desirable because he's kind of like you know, Like getting that card when you're playing Uno. What is it? The fucking the 4, the wild card 4. You know, that's him. Got a waypoint and got a crafting recipe for attack and cast speed. That is not a bad one. It's a pretty good ring. It's tier 1 life, tier 1 all res on a 2 stone. It's got mana regen, room for mana. I think I have to take that ring, but it has no chaos res. And honestly, I'm not going to take it because it has no chaos res. Yeah, I'd rather be chaos. I'd rather have no life and be capped chaos, which is a straight fact. Like, here's one of the quests in the area: the storm-weathered chest to net the storm blade. This lets us access the little desert to the right side and fight one of the, I guess, more important Pantheon minor bosses, Shikari. Big Scorpion gives us poison immunity. We're not even gonna use it though. We're just gonna keep on the bleed one. I think the bleed is honestly scarier on average. Okay, so here is the Stormblade area. I have to talk to Sin, so you just drop a TP here. Go through all your little quest dialogue, and then Sin gives you a bottle of piss. There's my bottle of piss. You can head back to the desert, send it over here to the oasis, and then we just follow in a, you know, a maze semicircle to find the Shikari den. There's like a lore instance here that does nothing, but it's here. This is the lore instance, the Forbidden Vault. June is here, and she tells you about betrayal stuff. Okay, here's betrayal. You can see because of the green skulls. This is one of the 4 being fortification. For this, I have to break these walls down, just one of them, so I can reach the middle, the juicy center. And then I gotta kill whoever's in the middle, anyone with the betrayal symbol above their head. You gotta be careful though, because their betrayal mobs are really cranky. And now I'm not even gonna bother explaining the entire betrayal mechanic, but I'm given this elaborate web of shenanigans that lets you influence who comes and goes and how you interact with them, but we're not really going to be doing much with this, so I'm just going to grab, you know, the one item he dropped that has a veil modifier, which we just right click to identify, and it, you know, there's just stuff. They have better rolls in some places, so that's cool, but again, we're not going to interact with that mechanic really much at all. Used to have to unlock crafting recipes, but no longer, so here are unique. The cloth belt. It's benefit you. Benevolence of Senior. Censure Benny. Here's the Scorpion. So Shikari, she does an amount of chaos damage, but it's not much. Anyway, so here's the annoying part of the fight. You have to basically, like an escort mission, walk through this alleyway of sand, but you have to wait for her to finish attacking at each junction, because she just won't move otherwise, so it's a lot of just jerking around. Yeah, there's a lot of scorpions to kill though in the alleyway. It's kind of like Abarath, where you have to go through the goat alley, but it's just scorpions, the goats. And much like Abarath, Shikari is a minor god. Alright, that's the end of that. Now we're into the Swallowing Sand. This is like the boss fight arena. Unfortunately, they gave her a hard phase, which is fucking stupid. But so in a second here, after she finishes diving around, she's going to go to the middle. And then she's just immune for a minute. And that's it. You just gotta run in circles until she's done. She's just like attacking us with a 2-second delay. But it couldn't kill me if I, you know, again, if I AFK'd. When that's over, then she comes up and then, you know, fight over. It's really quite easy. Nice part is the side quest gives us a passive though, and I like that. So here's the minor pantheon for Shikari. It is really nice. It capture poison's amount you can have on you, so if the map had like aggressive amounts of poison, you could kind of mitigate it all. But we're pretty much chill. Here is our passive point. I love that. Okay, so now that that's done, we can go back to the Vestiri Desert. And we're going to go north this time. And we've got to go through a foothill section. We've got a couple more side quests to do. You don't have to do some of these, but we're going to do them. More important is an upcoming lab trial. Ooh. Here's the foothills. It's mostly goats and bullmen, some birds and such. It's kind of based off of Arid Lake. I'm going to grab the waypoint, then we're going to go to the right here to cut through the boiling lake. We've got a date with a chimera that's going to petrify us. Okay, here's the basilisk thing. Not much to do there, but grab this spell damage, which is a pretty good recipe. And just stay behind him, and then you don't get basilisked. We're going to pick up the acid, loop back to the instance, and head back to the foothills. Well, ghosted rare. Loot? No loot. Now we got to go find this big bull. He's somewhere around here. He's all big and bullish. Kill Boulderback. Well, he's somewhere in the middle of things. I'm currently fighting a merc as well. Alright, so we got our boulder back stuff. We got our acid thing from the basilisk, so we're good to move on from this area. Little Tujin action. It's always good to do expeditions, even on low levels. You can always get the refund currency no matter where you are. Okay, so exiting the foothills, we enter the tunnel. And the tunnel is mostly a through line to the next zone, but there is something here that we care about, and that is a lab trial. The second of 3 lab trials for Merciless Lab. And here is Arcane Capacitor, which doesn't really do anything at the moment because we're never killing things, or our totems are. Totems are us, except when they're not us. And when it comes to killing things, they're not us. But it's still mana, so that's fine at the moment. Whoop, infamous merc. Spooky alert. Sun clasp, not important. There's no chaos res, but that's quite a ring for just capping res. I think we'll probably try to grab this. But we're gonna keep our distance, because you know how these guys are. Yeah, you just fucking conductivitied me, but let's not and say we did. Okay, super res ring. Let's set that aside. I'm not sure if I'll need it, but if it comes to needing to cap res, you know, abruptly, then maybe I'll slap it on. Alright, here we go. Trial of Ascensi. This is a Roomba one. So fairly easy for us. Just, you know, run through them, not with them. That's the general gist of the Roombas, right? Through is fine, with is with it not fine, you know. There's also a crafting recipe here per usual. Can't recall which one it is though. It is all attributes, sure. Alright, 2 out of 3 for Merc Lab. The last one is in Act 10, so we won't be getting it now, but we'll be getting it soon. Okay, into the quarry. Quarry is a pretty uneventful place. It's mostly a crossroads kind of quest hub. Not sure what kind of person would really spend much time in the quarry, but probably not a very intelligent one. Let's grab this waypoint, grab this crafting recipe for physical damage, talk to Sin, and now we're going to hit town real quick. Got a little hand in here. Grab ourselves a couple of respecs. We're going to clean up our inventory, and then we're going to head off to the sides to do the 2 last quests. So we have Garacon, and then we have the Refinery. Those are the 2 different remaining quests in the area. Order doesn't matter. Neither are difficult or particularly spooky. Looks like we got Refinery first. That's okay. I say neither is spooky. I guess the Refinery boss, if you absolutely sat in all abilities, much like anything else in PoE, hardcore or not, if you just tank bullshit, you're probably going to die. If you aren't immune to status effects, you're probably going to die. If you're not immune to stuns and crits and all that things between, you're probably going to die. So, you know, build smart, don't die. The Stormburst totems are doing pretty well, but man, I would love to swap to Shockwave. We would need to get, at the very least, a pair of gloves called Emperor's Grasp. Empire's Grasp? One of the 2. And we would really want a ring called Astral Projector, but yeah, it's a little bit out of our reach at the moment. Let's get to maps first, then we'll talk about our aspirations, you know? Ooh, okay. I think I want this amethyst ring. It's got strength, it's got a res, it's got room for a second res, it's got tier 1 life. It has potential to be pretty good. Not offended by this. Our existing one, this one, is basically, oh, it has more chaos. This one has offensive stats. Alright, we'll keep that. That's the maybe ring. Okay, so here's the boss fight. It's the general. He has 2 mechanics that really matter. He has a slam that you just don't want to stand in, and then he applies these coils that go across, and then like a discharge thing. But again, if you'll watch as we keep our distance, and we'll simply never see the repercussions of his actions. Let's grab this Trarthus powder. Now we could head over and do the other side, but I could quickly hand this in, just cause I can, even though we're gonna see Sin again in 0.5 seconds in the quarry. Hey look, it's Sin. Hello friend. Okay, doing the left side here, and we gotta go do Garakon's area, the Shrine of the Winds. This is a boss fight that you have to fight a boss, fight a mini-boss, don't stand in tornadoes. That's about it. There's the boss. We're fighting. He's gone invisible. He's gone revisible. Okay, here's the mini-boss. Okay, that thing phases then. Okay, now it's back to the main boss. He's invisible. He's revisible. Back to mini boss. Back to main boss. He's invisible. He's revisible. Don't stand in tornadoes. And down the boss goes. Cool. There's the feather. Let's grab all these nice rares we're getting. And let's head back and hand this bad boy in. I'm going to give it to Arasha. Thank you for my passive point. I kind of want to start picking up some masteries. Okay, let's pick up Deep Thoughts. That's a good 2-pointer. Then maybe after that we'll start grabbing Shaman's Dominion. That's the next totem node we get for some bunch of multi, honestly. It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of multi. No big deal. Alright, so we're heading back to the quarry. And now we're going to enter the last part of Act 9, which is the Belly of the Beast. It's basically just 2 straight lines. Then we have to do the same sort of fractured triple fight that we had leading up to Malachi, except it's going to be each one's its own instance, and then we fight a boss that is the accumulation of all of them at the very end. Alright, our Merc has died again. I think we're probably gonna call him now. That's that, you know. The bummer, but he's just gonna keep dying more and more. Not sure what else I could do to keep him alive. It's a shame again, because he is a perfect Merc, you know. Very likely we'll never see another, but yeah. It was a massively flawed League mechanic. What are you gonna do? Here's the Rotting Core. And here's the Black Core. So this area is like the soft hub for the end. You have to fight Shav, Malagar, and Dodri. We're gonna do, I guess we'll do Shav first. So we have little mini instances thematic to them. And yeah, they're not too difficult and they're linear, so we like that. Walk through the instance, fight the boss, leave, rinse, repeat. Here's the Shav area. So it's going to be the Shav from Act 6, the Empowered Brutus one. He's got like a hybridization of the different mechanics in the fight, but you just run in circles and fight's over. Like any other totem fight, you know? Take the portal out, on to the next one. Malagaro. Just like Malagaro, this one's somewhat chaos-based. Know what you're thinking. Is Dodri going to be curse-based? You're right. There's Deep Thoughts, and we now have 2,000 mana. Ah, a short bow. It's a Quillran. I was being picked up on my mic, but there's a man with a chainsaw outside. I could hear him like 20 feet away. Alright, Malagaro time. So he's going to just run around, and then he's going to split like 7 times. Then we have to kill little clones and then fight over. He's splitting. It's happening. He split. Okay, Dodri time. The Dodri fight kind of has mechanics that could legally, potentially do damage to me, but I'm not too worried. 1, 2, 3. Assassin's Mark. Okay, now, so when she phases, we're supposed to hide behind these pillars, and then she screeches and the pillars kind of eat the damage. I just wasn't sure if my totems were going to, like, you know, ignore the boss and go for the pillars, but they didn't, so we're good. Okay, here she is. There she goes. There's Dodri. She's dead. Alright, cool. On to the Black Core, talk to Sin, and we can kill the Depraved Trinity. This fight could do damage. There's a couple things in here that could do damage. If I ate a bunch of bullshit, I could take damage. More, actually, damage, I think, is going to come from the adds between the phases. This is very obvious gamer brain stuff. Avoid ground effects, avoid projectiles, you know, whatever. But right here, funnily enough, these scorpions do a lot of damage. I don't know why, but they do. I don't think it would, again, make a difference to us, but they do have a lot of DPS. So just avoid that. And that's it. We can keep our totems out and pulsing, and they'll just change targets. Am I going to have to... Oh, I am going to have to re-totem. No, my totems. Avoid the things, and then Dodri does nothing. Dodri down. That's the end of Act 9 right there. That boss down. And we're on to the final act, Act 10. Wow, look at that loot. Great. Talk to Lily. Say life is over. Talk to Whalem. Take his... Nope, talk to Lily. Sail to Oriath. And then we're done with Act 9 and on to Act 10.